Morning, 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 Will Robinson danger. Will Robinson danger. It's time to talk about Wizards of the Coast. What's up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats, and all the fish in the ocean? It is I, your grumpy guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and general internet nonsense that is Wizards of the Coast. It's Monday, so it's time to set our sails, choose our course, get our sextants out, and see where the winds of Wizards of the Coast will take us. It is time for the tabletop role-playing game news, and because it is Wizards of the Coast time, put on your tinfoil hat and take a drink of your favorite beverage because woo! Can't leave well enough alone, can you? So let's go with the big story and then the little stories. The number one story from Wizards of the Coast as of Monday, 9:30 in the morning, this 12th day of June, 2023. Jeremy Crawford has been wheeled out again from whatever vat they keep him in to give us a 15-minute long explanation of the 3 core rule books that are coming out in 2024. What are the core rule books? Literally, Jeremy Crawford has asked, what are the 2024 5th edition core rule books? They're the player's handbook, they're the Monster Manual guide, and they're the DM's guide. And that is the core rule books. Anything else that comes out, like the Vecna-themed adventure for the year 2024, is an adventure, Jeremy. It's not a core rule book. And if a supplement book comes out, like, I don't know, what wizard haven't we done yet? Tensor's Guide to Table, Chairs, and Ladders, that would be a supplement. The core rules, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, DM's Guide. Everything else are supplements or expansions. But it takes him 15 minutes to prepare us for the next decade, which is 5 years long. You have a 5-year-long window, Crawford. Don't forget that. With the new rule books, this will be all the new material that has changed since 2014. So as of today, it is 5th edition 2014 and 5th edition 2024. Does this mean this is finally the real official name? It is no longer 1D&D? No, because it still says on the fucking webpage it's 1D&D, and Crawford refers to it as 1D&D at least once, but don't remember that is not the official name. It was a working title that they used for a year, where they spent over a year trying to convince us that was the name, and that was the idea going forward, that it was all 1D&D. Well, at least 2014 on was all 1D&D, but we're changing it in 2024 for 5th edition 2024. But it's not a brand new edition. So, and he specifically asked, does this mean I have to buy the new books, or can I continue to use my 2014 books? No, you have to buy the new books. My phone's ringing, so I'm just not going to ignore it because it's spam. So yes, you have to buy the new books. It's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition 2014 and Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition 2024, which features 3 brand new core rule books that have completely changed the game. So if you're playing a character based upon Dungeons & Dragons 2014, there will be enough changes that you will need to recreate your character under the new rules, but it is not a new edition. It is now being referred to as 1D&D 2024 5th edition. Jeremy Crawford takes 15 minutes to tell us that there are 3 core rule books coming out at some point in time in 2024. Those 3 core rule books will be staggered because we cannot find enough printers to meet the requirements for those products. Mind you, none of the requests have been put in yet because they're not official yet. They're only a holding place on Amazon. So yeah, nobody's ordering them yet because there's no physical product yet. And you've already said that it's going to be digital first, physical later. If you buy the digital bundle, you can spend the extra money to get the physical bundle mailed to you when it is available, or you could wait till the physical bundle is available a month or 2 later, pay full price for that plus shipping, and then the extra for the digital copy. Because remember, we are trying to push that digital and spend less time with the physical, because the physical stuff is just too expensive to continue to make on a regular basis. And we can't find enough printers across the entire planet to meet the orders that haven't been placed yet. but we're expecting that there will be a lot of orders for these. So we're going to stagger the releases and push digital first. I was in a Barnes & Noble yesterday, and the far, far, far end on the top floor in the farthest corner was the teeny little bookcase that had all their D&D stuff on it. There was stuff on there 2 years old, 4 years old, 6 years old, hadn't been moved. I asked the woman, the Barnes & Noble rep on the floor, how are these selling and why are they over here? Her response was, well, they're over here because they're not selling. And it's, product doesn't sell. We move it farther and farther away because we want to push the product that does sell. So Peppa the Pig and Legos and squishy toys are selling more than the D&D stuff. Books, normal everyday books, are selling more than the D&D stuff. Yet we cannot find a printer to meet the requirements. But just in case you were confused, allow me to confuse you further, because once again, Jeremy Crawford, 15-minute long video, link down below, explaining to us what are the core rule books that are coming out in 2024 for the new 5th edition that is not a new edition. Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, DM's Guide. Will there be changes? Yes, they're going to be different. Bam! That's all you needed to say, Jeremy. You didn't need 15 minutes to bluster and bullshit and tell us nothing. We don't even still have a name other than it's not 1D&D, even though you're still calling it 1D&D. It apparently, as of today, is 5th edition 2014 and 5th edition 2024. It's not 6th edition, but you're changing everything. Yes. Can I still play a character that I made in 2014 using the new rules? No, because they've changed. So it is a new edition. No, it's not. Moving on. What else is going on? Well, it is June. It is the 12th day of June. It is 9:30 in the morning. Kyle Brink is still employed at Wizards of the Coast, despite saying he can't leave the hobby fast enough. Still there. Megan Fox has dyed her hair red, for anybody who cares. That has nothing to do with D&D, but it's news. One Bookshelf changed the references on their partner page to partners from merchant. And there's a rumor going around that DM's Guild might be shutting down because, as we know, Wizards of the Coast is moving all the D&D PDF stuff away from the third party and centering it on D&D Beyond, because they want the paid version of D&D Beyond to be the central location from which you can explore all official Dungeons & Dragons product. And a lot of the stuff on GM's Guild is technically official. All the Adventurers Guild stuff, all the 5th edition tournament stuff, the Adventurers Guild, the RPGA as it used to be called, all that official stuff, that's all done through GM's Guild. If I was an Adventurers Guild guy, I would have to download all my adventures and stuff from that site. Well, it sounds like Wizards of the Coast is moving all that stuff over to the other site, the D&D Beyond. And of course, the old Wizards of the Coast official Dungeons & Dragons site on the Wizards of the Coast webpage is gone. Meanwhile, the armor class versus armor class argument is still going on. The OSR bad, 5th edition good argument is still going on. And generally, Wizards of the Coast is continuing to push those embers of controversy. So, if you were curious what was going on with Wizards of the Coast, the number one and only story so far is this. But that's enough, because I'm sure we're going to be talking about this all week, which I guess means Peppa Pig will now have to be restatted from her 2014 5th edition to her 2024 5th edition version. I can't wait to see Peppa's new character record sheet. 30th level Barbarian. Yes, the next hello, Uncouth Boy. Please subscribe if you haven't. Yes, the first 5th edition expansion will be Tensor's Guide to Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Not the TLC match, but it'll actually just be Tensor going into a furniture store, and every page will be dedicated to a piece of D&D furniture. Not magical furniture, just normal everyday furniture. It's basically Tensor going through IKEA, talking about it. Maybe, it'll have a fold out of Tensor trying to put together a IKEA coffee table. And, that'll be it. That'll be the next book, because we know Wizards of the Coast thinks that D&D players now want to do IRL stuff while they're playing. Like, go to dance, have mini games about dancing and eating food and decorating their character's house. And I guess so, sure, why not? Tensor's Guide to TLC, not the wrestling match, but, basically Tensor going through the D&D version of IKEA should be the next book. And on page 24, we have the official canon rules of Tensor trying to build a bookcase, which means bookcases are now canon in D&D, which means IKEA is now canon in D&D. And it's only Monday. Here's how I would do it. OGGM, do you have any news for the 2024 5th edition core rulebooks? Yes, I do. How many 5th edition core rulebooks will be coming out in 2024? 3. What will they be called? Player's Handbook, DM's Guide, Monster Manual. Do you have an official name for the 2024 5th edition core rulebook, since it's apparently not 6E or 1D&D anymore? No, we don't. We're just calling it Dungeons & Dragons 2024. Is it different than Dungeons & Dragons 2014 going forward, since that's all that matters in the D&D continuum? Yes, it is. So it's a new version. No, it's not. So my old character that I made under the 2014 rules, I can still play when the 2024 rules come out. No, you can't. So I have to change my character. Yes, you do. And I have to buy the new books. Yes, you do. So it is a new edition. No, it's not. But there are books coming out in 2024. There are definitely 3 books coming out in 2024. Those will be the core rule books. Great. That was 2 minutes to give me all the information. Thank you, OGGM. You can now return to your regularly scheduled Wizards of the Coast nonsense at 9:30 in the morning. That's it. I'm the OGGM. If you appreciate me making fun of Wizards of the Coast, let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Check out all my new merch. And I'll be back later today, because I'm sure this story will bleed out into stuff. And we've still got all the latest OSR bad, everybody else that isn't OSR good nonsense. Armor class bad, alignment bad, encumbrance bad, anything the OSR does bad. You do realize the OSR is not a person, right? But I guess you don't. So that'll be another story. Till then, get off my land!